So first of all, let me kind of welcome all of you guys for a interesting and hopefully a very engaging discussion that we intend to kind of have for the next 30 minutes. The format that we'll follow is we'll try to restrict it for 20 minutes within ourselves, and we'll kind of at least have 6 to 8 minutes as an open discussion point from any of the guests who are present here. We'll like to take the questions because this is a little interesting topic in the sense because I'll just set the context to this entire discussion. NCMC was launched way back in 2019 as an interoperable payment mechanism on the card platform, which can be used by different transit operators, right? While we have been successfully able to kind of implement it across multiple operators with multiple banks, now the second phase of interoperability is coming and throwing a lot of challenge. And that's something that we want to discuss. And when I say second phase of interoperability, it is something like how do we create a one single city pass or a one single city ticket which can be used on one fare media and can be used in multiple transit operators, right? So if we talk about Delhi, we already have DMRC as a wide network which is adopted in NCMC. DTC is going to live on the buses. It's soon going to go live. Mumbai Metro, both the lines, line 1, line 2A and 7, and now line 3, which would come in, are all on NCMC. And best buses are on NCMC. So how would a one single instrument work with different operators, with different acquiring banks and different AFC systems? So that's the next level of interoperability. And I think it is fair to start this session with Dr. Amit sir. He's a champion and he's running the largest metro service in the country. Amit sir, Delhi has already kind of implemented some version of this interoperability and kind of had some experience. So we would like to know from you what were the challenges, how you feel those challenges are getting addressed by NCMC, and what all NCMC can do to kind of really fit into this particular problem statement that we just spoke. Sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening all. First, let me give you a little perspective about Delhi Metro. We have a network of 392 kilometers. We are catering to 7.2 million, 72 lakh passengers journeys a day. And ticketing is one of the challenge that we have been facing since beginning. We started our operations in year 2002. Since beginning, we have been promoting smart travel card for travel because it is a multi-journey card and you can just buy the card and do add value and you can use it for the multiple journeys. You need not go to the counter every time. So we have been using this smart card since 2002, 2003 and 4 crore cards are already in the system. So that's the kind of penetration we have in Delhi. The population of NCR is around 3.2 crores and we have 4 crore cards issued till now. Although 50 crore cards are active, but 4 crore cards are issued till now. So when this NCMC came, it came in 2009, so 19, it was a challenge for us from the technical perspective as well as from the onboarding perspective. Technical perspective because we started our operations in 2002, since then we had already had 4 OEMs who are working with us. And onboarding all those OEMs, developing a unified integrated software, integrating it with the acquirer bank, that was a challenge for us. We have a population of around 3,200 AFC cards, AFC gates with readers, of course. So all of them were required to be upgraded. So we did that in a record time of around 2 years. And last year, 2023, we started NCMC implementation. So these were some of the challenges that we faced in implementation of the NCMC at the technical level. But we, again, for our customers, how to onboard them, that is another challenge. They are very much used to of our smart cards. We have been launching a campaign that be smart, use smart card. since year 2003. Now we are saying that no, use NCMC card. That is again a smart card, of course. So we are requesting them to switch over to NCMC, but there is little resistance on part of our customers because initially when NCMC came, it was a KYC card. Know your customer was the requirement for NCMC, and it used to take 5 to 8 minutes to get a card issued. But thanks to RBI and NPCI intervention, now no KYC cards are available, wherein you need only your mobile number to get an NCMC card. So since then, now with the coming up of no KYC NCMC, proliferation has increased. On daily basis, we are issuing around 8,000 NCMC cards from our counters. Next friction point is that how to update the balance in the NCMC card and how to add value. For that, customer has to come to the station. They have to get this card tabbed at the POS machine or add value machine to get updated, amount updated and add value done. But I'm very happy that Airtel has come up with a solution for this. Now NCMC card would be issued through NCMC vending machines, and updation add value can be done using NFC technology of your mobile app. So these are some of the friction points that customers are facing. I think when these are addressed, NCMC proliferation will automatically increase. So again, next friction point is that I have requested Airtel also. We should look forward to have digital NCMC. A person need not have a physical card. A digital card in the mobile app should suffice the purpose. So these are some of the challenges that we have been facing and how we are addressing them.
Thank you, Amit sir. I'm sure the banks are working very hard to kind of address these challenges and kind of provide. And Airtel has yesterday only launched certain features on their mobile app as well as on the instant issuance. So I'm sure those are getting addressed. Rajeev sir, I think from a Mumbai perspective, Mumbai already is running on 2 lines, right? Line 1 and 2A and 7. And you are going to launch line 3 now pretty soon, most probably next month, right? So we are all looking forward for that launch, but the launch also has one particular challenge where paid-to-paid access to the existing lines have been defined in the overall architecture. So I'm sure that's going to be a good challenge for you to solve, both from a physical aspect as well as from getting the integration with 2 different AFC providers, right? So your thoughts on how you are going to manage that?
Okay.
And some learnings for how NCMC can kind of adapt.
Okay, thank you, Denny.
Yeah.
Just to give some perspective, because sure. I think most of the people in the audience may be from Mumbai.
Right.
So in Mumbai, around 340 kilometers of metro lines are planned, out of which I think about 46 kilometers are already operational. One is line 1, which was operating, for quite some years, and then line 2 and 7 from along the Western Express Highway as well as on the western suburbs. So these 2 lines, we now have the network of 46 kilometers. Now, line 3, which is a completely underground line. So phase 1 of that is being launched next month. This will be from the RA Colony to BKC. And the balance portion will be launched next year. So I think in next 5 to 10 years, the network, though not as big as DMRC, but it will be almost, 340, 350 kilometers will be a huge network. And one difference between Delhi and Mumbai is that here in Delhi, the DMRC is a major operator. But in Mumbai, there are multiple agencies who are implementing metros, because the government thought that having multiple agencies, it will accelerate the implementation of metros. So we have the MMRDA, which are implementing the overhead lines. MMRC, Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation, who are building the underground line, line 3, from RA Colony to Cuff Parade, as well as a new line which will come, line 11, which will come from Vadala to, again to South Mumbai. And there is SEDCO, and so there are multiple agencies. Now, coming to your question regarding how, first of all, the interoperability. how having one card, you can travel in different metros. So it is it is a very basic requirement basically. With the conventional cards, it was a challenge so far, but with NCMC technology, thanks to NPCI, it solves this problem. So if you have this NCMC card, so you can travel either in metro or in bus, and I think railways may also be planning very soon. Yes. So that barriers are broken now. Okay. Now coming to the next question, like if two lines are overlapping each other, crossing each other, and they are connected. So whether you can enter from one line and exit from other line. So this is another challenge.
Without tapping in, tapping out.
Without exiting the system.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another challenge. Normally what you have to do that you have to exit from the AFC gates of one line, then again enter in the AFC gate of other line. Like it is happening, if some of you might have traveled in line 1 at Western Express Highway Station, and then you have to get down and then you have to catch a train from, say, Gundavali station for line, I think, 7. So you have to exit from one system and enter at another system. So though your same NCMC card will work, but this, you have to come back to the unpaid and go back again after security checking, again to another paid site. So that a bit hassle is there. So we are already working with the NPCI to resolve these issues. Of course, some technical challenges are there, but hopefully in future, these will be resolved.
Definitely, Rajeev sir. In fact, the whole idea is to kind of give that convenience to the customer, because if he has to again do a exit and then again do an entry, it doesn't make sense, right? So I'm sure we are working on that solution, and on an NCMC platform, it is much more easier to kind of implement. But the other fare medias of QR code or any other, for example, some of them are still using token. So that's where the challenge kind of multifolds. But I'm sure, also, yeah. So, but I'm sure that we would be kind of doing it. But this brings to the, very interesting. So while this is a challenge for a paid-to-paid kind of a ecosystem, but I think the question for both of you would be, because you are dealing in a policy level also, right, sir? Tomorrow, if Mumbai decide to have one Mumbai pass, okay, so as a tourist or as a normal citizen, I can take that pass and hop in, hop out of any public transportation n number of times, right? And that pass has to be accepted by different people and different systems, and it needs to work seamlessly. What do you see as a policy enablers to kind of, because I'm sure on the tech side, we are all working, and tech is the most easiest solution, right? I'm not kind of trivializing it, but yes, tech is, the problem can be solved technically, but operationally, the challenges are multifold, and that's where I think we would need your insight as to what would be those missing blocks in this entire system, because already these discussions have started happening. So I would like to know from both of you your thoughts on that.
So let me share some experience of Delhi Metro. Yeah, for this kind of solution, that unified payment system, we need a central clearing agency which can deduct the amount from the travel card and apportion among the different operators. So if there are 3 operators, the amount is required to be apportioned among the 3 operators, depending on how much a person has traveled on each of the operators' territory. So we need to frame business rules. Like we have an integration in Delhi Metro with Rapid Metro Gurgaon. So we have well-defined business rules that whenever a person is entering or exiting from Rapid Metro Gurgaon, we will be adding 20 rupees as the travel fare, and this 20 rupees will go to the kitty of Rapid Metro. So those kind of business rules will have to be framed, wherein based on the origin and destination, the amount will be apportioned. So one challenge may come that from A to B, there may be multiple routes, multiple options. From A to B, I can go via C, via D, then I don't know via which route a person is traveling, because this is again only at 2 points, entry and exit are taking place. So for that, what DMRC is doing among our own lines, we charge fares based on the shortest distance. So if a person is traveling from A to B, we presume that he will use the shortest distance path, and we charge the fare according to that, and that's how we can apportion among the different operators based on the shortest path. Another criteria may be shortest travel time, because if there are multiple interchanges, travel time may increase even if that may be the shortest path. So that those things needs to be covered in the business rule intelligently by the operators. But I think there is a way that can be done at the policy level. Of course, technically, anything is possible. So,
yeah, so as Mr. Amit rightly pointed out regarding the interoperability part as far as the passes are concerned, as your question was, passes are normally defined as a operator-specific products.
Correct.
But the problem in Mumbai is because of the multiple agencies. So if MMRDA, for example, launches a period pass or tourist pass, so it will be limited to their lines only.
Correct.
And when MMRC launches a similar, so it will be specific to their line, line 3 or line 11, like that. But how a person can travel over the entire network? For a tourist, he does not know to whom this line belongs to. And when the paid-to-paid interchange comes up, then there will be a requirement of global passes. So this will be a challenge. How the revenue will be shared between the operators, because as a tourist you can maybe entirely travel in one line.
Correct.
But you have to pay, one time you will pay for the pass.
Correct.
And there are period passes also, like for 1 month or 3 months. And Mumbai public is already used to the passes in railway system. So definitely different agencies will have to work out mechanisms for that, how to resolve that issue. And there will be technical challenges also, for which definitely help of NPCI will be required.
Sure.
So I think this by the time these lines will be ready in 1 or 2 years, and this pay-to-pay interchange and these will be available, by that time hopefully this issue will also be resolved.
Definitely, definitely. And in fact, I think both of you shared that common point in terms of apportionment and settlement of the funds. And that's where I think the real magic has to happen. And obviously we'll pick it up, sir, from a solutioning point of view, how to kind of do it. And now we have heard the transit operator's side. We need to hear the banker side who is going to implement all these changes in his system. So Ganesh, with all these exciting changes coming in as an acquirer, right? And you have a additional problem of integrating it with the AFCs, right? And in this case, multiple different AFCs in terms of, and it could be also like you may not be integrating with all the available entities, right? It could be some other bank. So what do you foresee as a formidable challenge on the acquiring side in order to implement this interoperability?
Thanks, Danny. Before I answer that question, very briefly about Airtel Payments Bank. We are a payments bank. We have approximately 90 million monthly transacting users on our platform. We processed approximately 800 million transactions last month, and we are a profitable and a growing company. NCMC is a business which we are very, very passionate about, because the core purpose of Airtel Payments Bank is about driving digital and financial inclusion. We really believe that NCMC, in line with the Prime Minister's vision of One Nation, One Card, will genuinely drive digital inclusion in the country. And that's the purpose with which you're working. It's been a privilege to be the acquiring bank for both DMRC and Mumbai Line 1. And we would sort of focus on making sure that we have better experience for customers, as Dr. Amit had said, as we go forward. Specifically, Danny, to the question I think which you asked, I think the job of the acquiring bank, as far as NCMC is concerned, and really credit and thanks to NPCI, is actually very simple. I think the specifications, the formats, the templates are standardized, and hence it's very easy for all acquiring banks and issuing banks to execute that template, and settlements, everything happens very, very seamlessly. As you're rightly saying, the challenge comes when we need to integrate or when we need to work with multiple EFCs. While we do have specifications, I personally think that the way in which it's been executed is possibly not being standardized. And especially if we are looking at multimodal sort of solutions, I think it's time that we need to relook at what those specifications are and see how we can execute it. So I think some amount of work which we need to do to ensure that we relook at the specifications itself, and just the way it's been done by NPCI for the entire NCMC acquiring and issuance business. I think, Danny, if we can see how that can be relooked at, I believe that we can solve. And as you rightly said some time back, technology we can solve for it for sure. I think it's just a question of now us putting our minds together to see what specifications and how do we execute it. I'm convinced we'll get there, Danny.
Great. I think, Ganesh, you touched the right nerve on this, because one of the reasons why FASTag was able to successfully implement was we also solved for the integration of the acquirer with the toll plaza. So the ICD interface control document, which we called that document as a specification document, that really helped in terms of a smoother implementation. So I'm sure we would be getting into that stage in NCMC also. Ganesh, another point that I want to, because yesterday I was also part of few of the launches. So on the issuing side, what are the things that Airtel and you are taking as an initiative in terms of easing out the customers or commuters' entire NCMC journey?
See, we genuinely believe that the entire NCMC piece is going to be as significant as the way in which UPI has revolutionized payments in the country. We believe that NCMC over the next few quarters itself, not even years, will revolutionize the way in which consumers transit. I think the onus is really on us to see how we can A, use innovations, and B, drive experience of customers. I think these are at least the two key mantras with which Airtel Payments Bank is working, with partners. Let me talk about innovations, and I think Dr. Amit had mentioned this. Thanks to RBI, in February, they made a modification in the policy where they allowed PPI MTS, where it would historically take 5-7 minutes to issue a card. Now it can get done, in 2 minutes. Yesterday, we actually did a demo where the entire end-to-end journey can get done within 60 seconds. So that, I think, will significantly drive adoption. As a bank, we are issuing anywhere between 8,000-9,000 cards every day. We are processing 150,000 transactions every day. And I'm convinced that in a quarter, this number will double, if not go larger. And that's because of the focus on experience. I think that's on innovation. I think that's the first part. The second part really is around simplification and communication in terms of customer experience. Again, today, if you look at the journey, the customer first has to purchase the card, then load money into the card, and then go to the gate and sort of tap it and transfer balance. This, again, we have fully digitized, made it really simple, where this entire process can get done in a minute. And that's the live demo we showed yesterday and today. And once this goes to scale, Danny, we genuinely think that there'll be a significant increase in adoption. A large number of these customers, at least based on our experience, have also been customers who have never experienced digital before. So they are first-time digital customers. They come into the digital space for transit. And as and when they use that, they will become digital customers. And hence, it will really work in terms of driving digital adoption in the country. So, Danny, innovation, and experience, I think, are the two key areas where I think if we collectively work as an ecosystem, as an industry, I think we'll be able to create significant value here.
I would like to add awareness, innovation, experience, and awareness about the benefits of the NCMC, how convenient it is, how easy it is, that needs to be spread. That we are trying, but we are trying to be aggressive on this. We are pushing sale of NCMC. We have stopped selling our own CSC cards, store value cards, closed loop cards, but it is taking time. Because people still want our store value card, our own closed loop card.
Absolutely agree, sir. I think awareness is a job which we need to do. We need to make some investments in making sure that consumers know on the benefits of using this, where all can they use it, and so on and so forth. I think there's a job to be done for sure.
I think I wanted to keep it on time, and we are bang on time because we said that we'll leave 10 minutes. And I think there's no better way to summarize this entire discussion: innovation, experience, and awareness, right? And especially Rajeev sir, Amit sir, on the interoperability part, right? You mentioned that it is a problem to be solved for the next maybe 1 to 2 years, but that's what NPCI always does: take up problems which are like so large, have to be solved at citizen scale. So we are picking up that problem statement and we are trying to work around it. And I think few of the ideas that Amit sir you shared, right, in terms of creating those business rules, I think that would lay the foundation. So the policy first of all and the business rules. I think together we'll be able to kind of create that, and then obviously tech, as we agree that it's the simpler thing to solve. So on that innovation, experience and awareness, I close this discussion and open the floor for any questions. Yeah. Maybe a mic for Mike. Mic for questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I have two questions. In fact, I worked very closely with Denny on Fast Tech project, and I am happy to see him heading the transit in NPCI. One question is for you, Dr. Amit or Rajeev ji, whoever wants to answer. See, what are you doing to encourage the issuing side? Because if you want to make popular, the issuing of the cards has to penetrate. So are you giving space, or are you coming up with tenders so that other banks or startups can start issuing cards at metro stations? And related to this, some of the metros have binding agreements like Kochi Metro or Noida Metro or even Maha Metro, Pune and Nagpur with the banks. What is government doing to this, regarding this? And how you will encourage the new issuers? And second part, Denny, it is for you. What is NPCI doing for, as Amit sir said, for tokenization to mobile?
On issuance side, yes, we have binding agreement currently with Airtel. Earlier it was with Paytm. Now Airtel has taken over that business. But any bank is free to issue NCMC card. It is not required to be issued from any of the station. What you need to do is issue the card and tell the customers that these cards, like most of the banks have their debit card, RuPay debit card with NCMC provision. So they are already issuing these debit cards with NCMC, but they are not, either they are not able to communicate it, or people are not getting the sense of this, that their debit card can also be used for as an NCMC card. So point again is awareness is the issue. Issuance can be done from anywhere. You need not do issuance from the station. So
Sir, it will help if you give space in the metro stations.
So again, we have binding contract.
So that you will have to work out something. Because the new penetration won't happen until you give the space in the metro stations.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of break it up into two parts so that it should not be like seen as a bias towards one particular bank who has taken over the contract for. So the issuance of NCMC card, what we have seen in the stations have always been lagging behind for one reason. This was for KYC, want of KYC. So our competition was always the closed loop card issuance which is happening in the same station. So if I look at the figure, the issuance of NCMC versus closed loop card was always in the tune of 20 to 50x. So one card NCMC is sold, 50 cards of closed loop card is sold. And it is purely because of the KYC issue. And that's where, as Ganesh mentioned, RBI intervened and the MTS category was opened up for everything. So now, in fact, the guidelines from MoHUA is to stop the issuance, which all the transit operators are gearing up. In the next 6 months, closure of all closed loop card issuance and only MTS category cards to be solved, zero KYC. So this is like within 2 minutes. So that's going to solve the problem of adoption and issuance. And we have gone one step ahead, and yesterday we had a launch of instant issuance machines, kiosk. Okay, so you just go into a kiosk, unassisted, you get a card. And these kiosks can be put up anywhere in the world. In fact, there's one entity who have gone and placed the kiosks in all the Chennai metro stations today. So there the contracted bank is already existing, working, and the other entity have gone, they're paying the rent for that space because it's a kiosk. Anyone can do it. So these business models are evolving. So this will take care of the issuance part of it. And as Amit sir said that already banks are issuing, all RuPay cards are NCMC cards. So with the innovation which we just mentioned, right, in terms of the top up and everything, I'm sure the adoption will go into the different. For the programs that you mentioned of the Nagpur, Noida, for exclusivity to non-exclusivity, MoHUA is already working on it because there are certain huge financial considerations which everyone has put in. So that needs to be addressed, and that's something which MoHUA is working on, and hopefully, I'm hopeful that it will happen in the next couple of months. So you will start seeing the adoption of other NCMC card in these projects pretty soon. And the last question was on me on the card on device tokenization. So I think we are formally launching our card on device tokenization program on RuPay platform. So that's something which will happen. GPay is already kind of going to go live with all other couple of players. So it will happen. But what we believe is that it's one segment of NFC phone customers. The transit customer base is the huge customer, so we are very sure that that transition will take some time. So the physical card will be the primary form factor for a few years, at least till the time the NFC phone adoption and overall NFC payment adoption comes in. So cards are going to stay here for a couple of years. I don't know how many years because I am never into the predicting game, but cards will be here for sure.
Okay, just to add, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's this going a bit late, longer. Your question is regarding the binding agreements. So binding agreement was basically in Kochi, Nagpur, and Noida only.
Correct.
All other metros are coming up with open kind of agreements where any bank's card can work. Only thing is you cannot sell those cards from other banks at the metro premises because we have that kind of agreement with the issuer bank, which we have engaged with. But you can definitely, the other banks can sell from their own branches. And they will just work at any metro station.
Correct.
So that kind of, so it is a non-binding in that sense.
Yeah, any NCMC can work on our metro system. That's not that only Airtel or Paytm will work. SBI card, PNB card, any metro card can work. They are working actually.
Yeah.
Hi.
I think he had raised this. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. This is Mitesh here from Pay. Right? So while actually we have seen the adoption of cards and all that, but think a lot of still the queues are still there at metros also and railways also if you look at it. And primarily those are the people who actually are not able to transact digitally or load the card maybe digitally, right, and cash. So what is your take on adoption of things like 123 Pay or something like that to actually make people buy tickets or load amount through actually a digital means? Because largely the transit travelers are 123 Pay customers.
Yeah, I'll answer that question. You're absolutely right, and which is why, we believe that innovation and customer experience and of course awareness, I think are very, very vital. The launch we did yesterday and today addresses one of the three problems you mentioned, where the customer can actually load money digitally or through using any other means, and more importantly, can actually transfer the money into the, into the card using the phone itself, and doesn't need to sort of go an additional step and get stuff done. I don't think that's enough, I'll be honest. I think it's a significant first step. As we go forward, a lot of work needs to get done in using, channels like 123 Pay, so that, using voice, actually customers can actually get money in and do the transactions. You're absolutely right in your understanding, because that's our understanding as well. A large number of these consumers who use Metro are not digitally savvy, which is why, this use case is very important to drive digital inclusion. So we are all saying the same thing. I think a lot more innovation needs to get done here. We've showcased 3 of those between yesterday and today. There is more planned in the coming few weeks. And as and when each of these go to the market at scale, we'll see adoption go up significantly.
Would like to meet you and discuss some ideas.
Sure, more than happy to.
So in fact, thanks for raising that question, because yesterday we launched the money at via UPI channel, but it is purely for smartphone customers. So 123 Pay is an important addition, and I believe Priyanka and Meenakshi are there somewhere in the who kind of made this entire solution from NPCI side. We'll take up the 123 Pay. So
We are actually, incidentally, we are working on a pilot with Indian Railways for adoption of 123 Pay across all the railway stations in the country.
perfect. So I think we should connect and we should take this forward.
That is for UTS.
Yeah.
You are working on UTS.
UTS. I can show the use case to
Okay,
you afterwards.
okay.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Ganesh. I'm founder of Connected Arts Technology. I think it's an interesting point. You said one Mumbai card, whenever you're going metro. But I'm coming from Chennai. Okay, I also travel to Calcutta. So whenever I use metro, is a very difficult is there. And it is a very interesting here. Metro people are here. Airtel is there. Bankers, basically a telecom provider also is there. So now with the phone pay, right? And I can pay it anywhere. Even to the parking wala or even to the flower shop, anything I can do that. When Airtel have that kind of option, why do you need a card? We don't need a card. With the phone itself, everything we can do that, right? Again, we are talking about a card, and you also saying that it will take 2 to 3 years time. That time we don't have it. We have to take some action at it. If you remember some time back that the loyalty cards, right? Everybody was bringing the loyalty cards. Carrying the loyalty cards, we need a big wallet. It was like that. Now all the people are, the retail giants and all changed to the mobile itself. When Airtel have a Airtel with the bank, that option is there. We have a phone, and with that, if we can make all the cards been eliminated, I think that will be the great one on that. When we are going to attain this stuff? Thank you.
So, yeah, maybe Ganesh can take it, and then everyone can add because it's something very close to everyone.
See, phone option is always there. There are mobile apps. You can buy the tickets through QR code. So QR code tickets on mobile apps, I mean, it is happening. It is happening in DMRC. It is happening in, I think, in other metros also. Yes. So that is a reality. That is not 1 or 2 years away. Only thing what he was mentioning about the tokenization of the smart card itself on the mobile phone, which will take some time. Yeah, you can add.
Yeah. So, like sir said, I think even today, if you take a NCMC-enabled card from DMRC or from Mumbai, you go to Calcutta, use it, it'll work. So you don't need anything because this is again exactly in line with the vision of one nation, one card. So you take that card, you can use it anywhere else. I don't think that's a challenge at all. We don't need to wait for any of those. We'd love for you to just experience one of those cards.
Not only for the metro, I'm talking about if you're talking about the bus, if you are using any public transfer you're using. See, Modi is saying that one nation, one ration card.
Yeah.
When are we going to achieve that in the digital world?
Well, I think it's a journey. I think all of us are sort of taking whatever steps required to sort of go there, and I think we'll just keep making progress for sure. So
Yeah, you rightly said that these days mobile phones, everything is available on the mobile phone. Our Delhi Metro ticket is available on Paytm, even WhatsApp, Amazon Pay, or on mobile app is there. One Delhi app is there, which is primarily used for DTC buses. So point is that there are multiple channels through mobile that you can get the ticket. But what is the challenge in getting a ticket from mobile also? You have to feed in your originating station, destination station, pay the fare every time. That is not required in NCMC or other smart card. You just need to tap in and tap out. The fare is detected automatically. So that is the biggest advantage of having a travel card, which is not there in the mobile app. Yeah. But we are, again, as I said earlier, we need a digital card which is available on the mobile phone, having this facility of tap in and tap out, and the money should be automatically detected from the digital card.
So we are short on time, so I'll just make a crisp closing remark on this particular point. My years of experience in the payments and the digital payments world, I think sometimes we get a little carried away with what we can bring in. And we think that we can do a lot of things on the digital side, which is good for customer, and it could be good for customer. But eventually it is the customer who decides which form factor I need to accept. And from the success of closed loop card. So today DMRC has almost 55-60% penetration of closed loop card. Okay, it is proven that card as a form factor is the most accepted, and it is true for all other metro operators. So Bangalore, Chennai, everyone is like closed loop cards are in the range of 50, 55, 60%. And they have alternative fare medias, QR code, paper, mobile app, QR, everything is there. But the adoption is 55 to 60% for a closed loop card, which will get automatically converted to a NCMC card. So this is the customer's choice. So we should be a little mindful towards customers and not get kind of carried away with the tech that we are working on. So that's on that.
Delhi Metro, it is 75%
Yeah.
card, 25% single unit.
In
And
the
out
peak time.
of these 75%, right now 5% are the NCMC ones. 70% are still closed loops.
Yeah, hello.
On that note, yeah.
All right, let's give it up for this commendable job and a panel discussion and all the endeavors. And we wish you all the best, mate, align with the larger vision. Gentlemen, I request you to come forward. We also would like you to have an unveiling of the white paper. So let's have the release happening right here. May I request a volunteer to have the, yes.
So this is the white paper on NCMC, which we have started off from last year. And for anyone who wants to kind of understand how this program has shaped up, this is the go-to resource. So please feel free to kind of go to the QR code, download the soft version also on this. Yeah, thanks. And we have some copies, so please collect once you leave.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,